cloud defensive Rein 3.0 weapon light. So we've covered these before, and again, there's not a whole lot changing with the light itself. We'll still go over some of the specs, but they are shipping now with a different switch system than what traditionally was coming on. It's now a single switch, this one being a constant on, single click. And that's going to be the same for the Micro as well. Still getting the tail cap that's allowing you to have the momentary, or you can have the constant on click there as a fail-safe if your switch fails, but we'll get to some of that stuff there. First off, just to talk about these cloud defensive Rein 3.0 lights, they are a 3-piece modular setup, meaning that the head unscrews and you can swap heads out. Body is going to unscrew, be a separate piece, as well as the tail cap. The tail cap is patented, and what is nice about it is it does allow you to switch the configuration, so how the wire is sticking out of the tail cap. You've got 4 different positions to clock it, which allows you to, when you're building up your rifle, it allows you to pick the position that's going to allow you to better manage the cable, so limiting the amount of wire that is going to be sticking out that can also snag on stuff or anything like that. So very useful tool there, and you can do that without having to take off the entire cap. You just have to take off this end, which is your push button kind of retainer, and then this pops out, and then now I can rotate it 90 degrees whichever way that I need to, which is nice, very, very nice. So you can do that with it on the with it on the firearm as well. So nice 3-piece modular. This is waterproof rated, so submersible 100 feet for 24 hours. And I've heard some crazy stories of guys dropping these in different kind of liquids and fluids and finding them even up to a couple months later and them still running. I don't know if they were 100 feet, might only have been a few feet, whatever it might be, but still very, very, very durable. With the durability, the lens is the strongest in its class. It's 3 millimeters thick and can withstand multiple hits from a training simulation 5.56 round. So don't have to worry about covering those up during your training when it comes to utilizing like sim rounds, or even if you're utilizing like airsoft rounds. So very durable, like we already know. All aluminum body, nitride coated, very, very solid when it comes to that. The switch we already covered is a single click for constant on. There are options out there if you switch out tail caps and stuff to where you can have a momentary and a constant on if you would like. So the power of the full-size Rein 3.0, you're getting 100,000 candela with 1,250 lumens. You're going to get about 65 minutes of runtime, and you'll be able to reach out about 300 or more yards, a little bit more than that, as long as you're running that 18650 battery, which this one is designed for. Now, it is dual fuel compatible, so you can run 2 CR123s, but definitely expect a degrade when it comes to its performance. That battery just doesn't have as much of the push that you're going to get out of that 18650. Kind of just for example, I have one of these in the FDE, and I had it off of a build for a while, and I was just kind of utilizing it outside. Back on my land with my pasture, I have to call on my horses at night sometimes. They don't want to listen to me yelling, and so I'll have to use that light and shine it. It's about 314 yards from the opening of my pasture that goes to the paddock to the far end where they like to hang out. And I can hit this button and illuminate and be able to tell there's trees out there, and I can see individual fence posts at 314 yards. So it puts out a lot of light, and the horses come in pretty quick once they see me kind of waving this around. So not what it's intended for, but it's just a live use example of how powerful and how much like throw these lights have. Really solid light when it comes to that. Another cool feature about these is they're running a patented jack. It's a battery jack system. And essentially what that means is how that battery is captured inside of this body is going to pretty much negate any of that flickering you might get under recoil or under hard movement. So some of us have utilized other lights, and we've seen while we're shooting, sometimes that light will flicker with each one of the recoil impulses, or if you have the rifle out and you're running and moving and you get some of that jarring from the stepping, you might see some flickering from the light. Their patented battery jack system negates that, so you don't experience it all. What that also does is it increases the runtime and the longevity of the battery in the system as well, because it's not going through so many connects, disconnects, and all of that. So Awesome little features when it comes to the Cloud Defensive, really solid weapon light system. That's going to be the full size. What they also ship with, which might as well mention, is a Cloud Defensive mount. This is a M-LOK mounting system, which is nice and narrow, so it does allow you to mount this on like the 45s of most handguards, but it's going to come with the hardware that you need for that as well. So on this Foxtrot mic upper with this Rainier Arms lower receiver, we went ahead and set up the Rein Micro 3.0 and FDE. Both of these do come in black and FDE, just so we can get a little look. So that Micro is best designed to run on short barrels, SBRs, builds, things that we need a little bit more rail space we just don't have a whole lot of room for stuff. So we want to maximize our use. The light itself, again, is going to be solid. It's running a phenomenal head. It's got all the same aspects and things that we like about this full size. It's just a smaller package. So the full size being 6.1, so 6.17 inches, if I can talk. And then the micros being 4.88 inches. The micro is going to be running off of your 18350 battery. It is also dual fuel compatible, so you can run the the CR123s on there, but again, expect a performance degrade. For the power output, you're getting 95,000 candela with about 1,000 lumens, and you're going to be reaching out about 200 to a little bit more than 200 yards. I personally haven't played with the micro outside, so I can't tell you how well that compares in my experience to that full size, but you're still going to get a good amount of throw from a very small compact light. Now, the other nice part about these, the 3.0s over the 2.0s, is the size of the bevel. So that head itself, it is much smaller than what we're used to with the Rein 2.0s, which is very nice because the Rein 2.0s had a very fat head, which made it really hard to mount on some of the builds and stuff. So just a nice smaller bevel there as well. For the most part, it's going to be the same light, just smaller. Both made in America and both offering a lifetime warranty, still having that same durability. The runtime, I don't think I mentioned, is 40 minutes when you're utilizing 18350 on that micro. So not a huge decrease for the size, going from 65 to 40. I mean, yeah, it's 20 minutes. It is still a difference, but it's a good trade-off to have a nice small package like we see here. So definitely jump on the website, look at these options, and let me know if you have utilized the micro versus the full size and done any comparisons yourself. That'd be really cool to hear what your findings are. And just let me know what you think about those Cloud Defense setups. The nice part, I'll also mention, since I hadn't yet, with these new switches, is the old switches were a 2-switch setup, took up a lot more rail space. These smaller switches, single button, is just a lot more minimalist. It makes it a whole lot easier to have rail space and fit multiple things if you need to. And you can get a little bit more kind of creative when it comes to your configurations for your build if you want to run a different switch for something else, or if you're just limited on rail space, whatever it might be. It's nice to have a small but durable, very good tactile, easy to feel, know that you're on it, switch that just doesn't take up a lot of space. So that is the Cloud Defensive 3.0s with the new single constant on switches.